Hello everyone, my name is Bryce Paden and this is my EDL 959 module number 1. How does leadership impact academic, non-academic activities and barriers? So to start off, is a little bit about me. This is my wife Hannah. I've been married for 7 years. I have 2 daughters. Parker is 5, just turned 5 just a couple weeks ago, and Hallie is 2.5. Um, I love anything KU. The football team was looking much better just a few weeks ago, but I think we'll turn it around. Um, I enjoy hanging out with my friends and my family, and I love being able to teach and coach in the district that I grew up in. So, a little bit about me professionally. I graduated from Wathena High School in 2010. I attended and received an education degree from Washburn University in 2015. My first position teaching was at Riverside USD 114, where I taught 3rd through 5th special education. I did that for 1 year, and then the following year, a position came open in our district here as the 6th through 8th physical education teacher. That's been a great transition, and I've been there ever since. I'm currently the head football coach and baseball coach at the high school. Okay, so the resources, I picked out some things that were important that stood out to me in each one. So why non-academic skills are so important. A growing body of research drawn from science of child development demonstrates the extent and impact of non-academic social emotional skills such as self-regulation, problem solving, self-awareness, and growth mindset have an academic outcomes and successes in the workforce and in life. Non-academic skills are necessary as your child matures and moves through grade school onto a post-secondary institution and eventually into a career. Although a majority of stakeholders believe it is very important for schools to measure non-academic skills, many maintain that it is not within a school's scope of responsibility or capacity to teach these skills. This is something that really stood out to me when I was reading through the article by Gallup, that there are some people that think that we have to spend a whole bunch of time and it is our responsibility to teach these skills to all the children. And I believe that to an extent we are supposed to. I mean, that's our job. We're supposed to teach some life skills, and most of these non-academic skills are life skills. Just like I said up there, self-regulation, problem solving, social awareness, time management. All these things need to be focused, but they don't need to be a driver for every single setting that we are in the school. But I do think to an extent that we as educators need to help these kids mature and grow, and those skills are definitely ones that need to be looked at. Educators report using a variety of approaches to develop these skills to their students, including project-based learning and seeking opportunities to teach and teamwork within group exercises. That's a great little tidbit there that I just kind of went over too. Like you can use and you can work on these non-academic skills in multiple settings. Non-cognitive skills, 21st century skills, social emotional skills, all within different names to call them, but they understand that they're keys to student success. Using different skill or different names for all of these, it still just shows that they are important and they have a place in student success for sure. So why academic skills and curriculum are so important? The curriculum identifies the learning outcomes, the standards, and core competencies that students must demonstrate before advancing to the next level. It's pretty basic there. Curriculum makes certain that the schools are teaching the relevant material and monitoring progress of each student along the way. And we'll get to a little bit more of the progress monitoring when we get into the technology. But clearly that is a big part of the academic skills and what they're learning and making sure that they're learning. Curriculum also gives the students the relevance of each subject matter to understand why they are doing what they are doing. And I feel like that is so important that we bypass as too much. I work in the middle school, and I hear it all the time where kids say that they're never going to use this and they're never going to need this. We need to give the students more of why we are teaching this, in some situations on why they would need to understand this and when they can use it in the future. Technology will allow everyday activities to be easily monitored to collect on student progress. Excuse me. Research shows that students in minority, low-income schools are more likely to experience tech through isolated, low-rigor activities. I teach right now in a lower-income school, and I would not say that that's always the case. I think some of that kind of helps because we get grants and such from the state and federal that we get one-to-one iPads and computers for our students. So I put that in there. I thought that was important to share, but I don't necessarily totally agree with that statement. I think there's positives and negatives to the low-income schools, and I can see them being isolated, but that's just not the case in ours, and we are in a, quote, lower income district. Some, not all teachers are at school districts that have implemented the one-to-one technology policy where each student can use the technology at the same time. Olson made a good point in the article in there about one-to-one ratio in technologies and how they would go about getting the technology into each student's hands, and that would determine what each teacher can do if they don't have the proper facility. After a study conducted in Texas in 2 Title I rural districts, the findings showed that the new school technology doesn't always ensure teachers' understanding or student learning. Technology can definitely help, but it's not a cure-all, as the students are going to learn everything, or you could have a teacher that doesn't know what they're doing and they can't even use a technology in a proper way. So I listed some non-academic examples that I've seen in my school: self-confidence, self-discipline, career readiness, focus, personal responsibility, problem solving, time management skills, critical thinking, study skills, and character. How does your administration support these? I think our administration supports these pretty well. Obviously more than others, but I think they do a great job of, honing in on giving the kids self-discipline and making them being aware of what's going on, and focusing in on what they need to do, taking responsibility of their actions and their grades and homework, time management skills, critical thinking, study skills. Those are all, and character, those are all kind of dealing with teachers on an individual basis, but I feel like our administration does well. What do I think of these? I think they're all great. I love the self-discipline, being in the PE and being in the gym. I teach confidence, self-discipline, personal responsibility, character quite often. The way you act, the way you treat others. If I was administrator, what do I do differently? I wouldn't do a whole lot different than what our administration is doing right now. I think they're doing a pretty good job. Um, Parents and teachers in our area, students, I think that we do have some parents that struggle a little bit with us getting onto their students about having self-discipline and personal responsibility. But for the most part, our stakeholders really enjoy and are behind our administration all to focus on these skills. How do I increase these? Um, Using technology is super for a lot of these skills, but we just need to keep honing in on that. What barriers am I familiar with that get in the way of these? I would just say the students' backgrounds and their home lives don't necessarily teach these same things at the home. So when we get them, it seems like kind of a tough thing. Academic examples in our school, core subjects, MTSS and FastBridge, FFA, Knowledge Bowl, Scholars Bowl, VOTEC, National Honor Society, college courses at our local community college and the college across the river in Missouri Western. We use IXLs and Cyclone Studios. Our administration really supports a lot of these. Big VOTEC has been a big push for them lately because we have so many kids that aren't really college kids, but they are allowed to go to the Highland Community College VOTEC program for free if they live in our district, and that's been great for our kids. I think they're great too. I really enjoy that our kids are getting so many college courses in our school right now. I wouldn't really do anything differently either. Actually, I'm going to talk about a few things that I'd like to kind of add. What do teachers, parents think? I think they're right on basis with it. We have a lot of parents that come up and want their kids in VOTEC, want their kids working in the college courses and so on and so forth. Of course, as technology is changing, there's lots of things that you can do to really help in some of these areas, and it's gotten easier, especially for our IXLs and MTSS and FastBridge and stuff. It's made it much easier. So some of my newer implementations that I would like, new sports management and training courses. I think this is huge. We have some kids that are really interested in sports and really interested in going into this specific field. And I think that we could do a good job of starting them out and doing that. As well as nursing and CNA. We have so many nurses and techs and stuff that have come through our building that know when they're a sophomore that that's what they would like to do. And it'd be really nice to be able to co-op with somebody and come up with ways that we can work on those. Businesses for students to participate in and job fairs. We have Cyclone Studios that I mentioned in the last slide that they have a business, they have a press, and they create T-shirts and stuff for our schools and for volleyball teams, football teams, basketball teams, cheer, all these things. And they kind of run it as a business, and the kids in there run it as a business, and it's great for them. And all just more technology-based classes. Being able to partner with people maybe not around here using that technology in a positive way to help our students, because technology is something that our kids need to be able to navigate here whenever they leave our buildings. Okay, and here is my relevancy statement and personal reflection. And here is my reference page. Thank you.